Just Baseball Show. It is Friday, September 12th, and we are talking about the pitching staff side of what you and Aram did yesterday, Peter Apple. You guys drafted lineups among contenders, any team within realistic shot of a wild card berth. Today, we're drafting stabs, rotation plus bullpen. It's the Just Baseball Show, and it is brought to you by
BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. Remember, folks, download BetMGM, whether that be on iOS or Android, and use promo code JUSTBASEBALL. Why? First bet offer up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first wager loses. Thinking about betting on the NFL this weekend? High time to use our code again, JUSTBASEBALL, because if your first pick loses, you'll get it all back in bonus up to $1,500. But remember, gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 years or older. Terms and conditions apply. The draft was a blast. We also used defense, base running. It
yeah.
was everything. So in this draft, we're not just looking at starters. We're also looking at the bullpen. I'm excited.
And in a what have you done for me lately game, that matters. Let's talk post All-Star break as well. A lot of splits that you can dive into to build your draft board. And I feel okay about mine.
I feel great about mine. Absolutely dismantled arm yesterday. And
Did
my
you?
plan is to do the same here today.
That's awesome. Do you have more respect for me or Aram?
When it comes to drafting, I have no respect for either of you. It's just like
Cool. That's a
bulldozing.
really good answer. I asked you to pick a favorite and you didn't by diminishing both of us.
Well, I know because they're both zero. Is it like a prettier zero?
Yeah, I mean, one could be in cursive, one could be with a G2 Pilot pen. Who knows?
Look at you.
Um, that is like to take you inside pen. That's the only pen I use. G2 Pilots. Whenever I go to Target and I'm running low on pens, I stock up on G2 Pilots, black and blue.
Couldn't give you a name of a pen.
Come on.
Ballpoint? That's more of a type.
That is the type of a pen, not the
Sharpie.
name, not the brand of a pen.
Sharpie.
Sharpie is a marker, I think. It falls into the marker family.
It says
How many
Sharpie
people do
pen
you
on
think turned this pod off in the last 10 seconds?
everyone. For the one person left, you ready for a draft?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm in. So give me the rules here.
So the rules are whoever has first pick, then the next person gets the back two, and then it's alternating. And because the standings have changed ever even since we recorded or I recorded with Aram, we're now adding another team into the mix. And we could have stuck by our rules, 3 games within the wild card standings or not, right? 3 games out. But we decided to add 2 more teams that are 3.5 games out. So congratulations, Guardians. Congratulations, Diamondbacks. You're both still in. And a reminder, we got both of our teams, starting pitching and bullpens. Those are the rules.
So there are an odd number of teams.
There are.
Do you want first pick? I assume we go Serpentine.
Why don't you have first pick? I gave Arm first pick because of my lack of respect for your guys' drafting pedigree. You
Yeah.
take it.
Okay, that's fine. I will absolutely take the first pick.
So there's no excuses.
Yeah, and I also get an extra team, which I'm pretty fired up about. Although I also get the last pick, which is tough.
What we could do is just that team wasn't drafted. That's what we think of your pitching staff. That's
Yeah,
what we could do.
we could do that. That feels super mean. I feel like last pick we should do. So I get an extra pick.
It's mean for that fan base, but everybody else is going to get a chuckle out of it. So we have to
Yes,
think about the majority. And unfortunately, we got to crush that team.
I understand. Okay, first pick. You ready for mine?
I'm ready.
It's going to sound a little chalky. It's also going to be a little weird to you, I think.
Hmm.
Give me the LA Dodgers. Is that chalky or is that weird?
Um, I had them actually second on my big
You
board.
had them second. Okay, so you're going to get your first choice, but I get
Yes.
my first choice, and I'll explain why I go with the LA Dodgers first. Since the All-Star break, 3.51 staff ERA is best in baseball. They are one of two teams under a 3.6 as a staff. The other team under a 3.6 is the Milwaukee Brewers. But the LA Dodgers have punched out more guys. They've walked fewer guys. The batting average against is a little bit lower. And oh, by the way, Snell is back and throwing consistently. Glasnow is back and throwing consistently and looking really good. Otani is ramping up to 5 innings. Yamamoto is a top 5 pitcher in Major League Baseball. How do they use Kershaw? I have no idea. And the bullpen is getting a little bit better. I like the pieces that they have. Tanner Scott admitted that the baseball gods have not been kind to him, but Tanner Scott is a $60, $70 million closer, so I'm going to trust Tanner Scott a little bit. Trinan, I'm going to trust Trinan based on what he did last year. Vesia, I love. He just came off the IL. Enriquez, I'm a huge fan of. How can you not be a huge fan of 104? Robleski all of a sudden is throwing 100 as a long man. And oh, by the way, Jack Dreyer, I pitched you on that. Michael Kopech is back in the fold. And oh, by the way, Roki Sasaki hit 101 miles an hour in his last rehab. So who knows how he factors in? They're getting healthy at the right time, which is exactly what every single person that watches baseball was forecasting. They were going to limp their way through 4 or 5 months, and by mid-September, they were going to be all systems go going into October.
I have absolutely no problem with you taking the Dodgers number one overall because they do have the best rotation of any team in Major League Baseball. When you can go Yamamoto, Snell, Glass now. Like, let's pretend Ohtani isn't even pitching, even though he is. Those three are as good as anybody. But then, of course, you do have Shohei Ohtani for a potential game four. Right? Those horses are incredible. And in terms of bullpen ERA, since the break, they rank 10th. The reason I'm going to go with the Brewers here is my number one pick is second best overall team ERA this year, third best expected ERA, right? Those are the full season sample. Sixth in starter ERA since the break. So they're still throwing it as well as ever. You got Freddie, who has been a bona fide ace in Major League Baseball this year. We get Brandon Woodruff back, who's fully ramped up going into the playoffs. Quinn Priester is one of the best ground ball artists in baseball. You still have Mizorowski. Is he a bullpen arm? Is he a 4-inning weapon? Is he going 7 innings like he did in his last start? All of those options are in the air. But we also have Quintana and Chad Patrick. The bullpen is elite. 7th in bullpen ERA since the break. Been one of the best bullpens all season long. And the reason I elevated the Brewers to my number one spot is because I have so much faith in the bullpen, especially with Trevor McGill coming back on September 16th.
Yes.
He'll have enough of a ramp up time to get ready for the postseason. So without McGill, they've held it down. And now they add back an all-star caliber closer. And with the rotation being so deep, with a unbelievable weapon in Mizorowski, they're the deepest pitching, I think, by far. With the Dodgers, you just have unbelievable horses at the top. But the reason the Dodgers fall to 2, I don't love the bullpen, right? If we're splitting hairs between the number 1 and the number 2 pick, I have much more faith in the Brewers bullpen. And I think the Dodgers starters are going to go 6-inning, 1 run with 10 Ks. But are the Brewers starters going to go 6 innings, 1 run with 6 Ks? It's just not as sexy, but the production is going to be similar. That's why with Milwaukee, from the 1st inning to the 9th, I feel better. But with the Dodgers, I feel better 1st to the 5th. But this is a staff draft. That's why I'm already off to a great start.
Okay. It circles right around to you with the third pick. Go.
So the third pick, this is where I think our boards are going to get a little bit different because both of us could just rank starters and bullpens ERA in the second half and be like, I like that one a little bit better.
Sure.
But we also have been watching baseball for a long time. And we also have pitchers that we like, have pitchers that we want to hang on in a postseason race.
Listen, brother, sometimes it's not about the X's and O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes.
But the reason I want to bring that up is I'm already going away from the numbers with pick 3.
Good.
Everyone else, who do you like? When you put your head on the pillow, who gives you the sweetest dreams? And the sweetest dreams for me is the Mariners. If I got Brian Wu, I got Logan Gilbert, I got George Kirby, and I have Luis Castillo, I feel pretty damn good. Now, what are people going to say? George Kirby has not been great, and you'd be right. He's their 3-starter in this. Can he bounce back? I've seen plenty of great playoff performance. Not plenty, but when he's been in the playoffs, he's been diabolical. I remember that start against the Astros. 7 innings, shutout, unbelievable. So if that's your 3, I feel pretty damn good about that. But what elevates them to 3 is I think this bullpen is stacked. They're 12th in ERA since the break, so the numbers are not otherworldly. But I love Munoz. I love Brash. Bizzardo. Thrown 72 innings with a 2.5 ERA this year. He's been really, really solid. You got Gabe Spire and Ferguson as your lefties. Carlos Vargas, 3.54 ERA in 68 innings. I count 6 arms that I feel good about, with 4 pitchers I feel really good about. And then who knows what Bryce Miller can give you in the postseason. So for me, Mariners would be my third. So give me the Brewers and Seattle.
Okay. I vehemently disagree, and I'm pretty fired
Interesting.
up that you left this team for me right here.
Okay.
But I
Wait,
understand why you did it.
tell me
What?
where the Mariners are on your big board.
So Seattle was in the 6 range for me, like six,
Mm.
7. That oh god, I sorry guys. In like the 5, 6, 7 range for me.
6, 7?
Yeah, I like that's okay. I did that as a pop culture joke like a week and a half ago. I also have no idea what it means. It's
Me
from
neither,
apparent.
really.
It's
It's
from
like
like
an
a
edit.
Twitch guy, I think.
Yeah, I don't really know, but I think it's funny when people say you're aura farming in our Discord after a show's done.
Yeah, so sorry for doing that. That was entirely unintentional, I promise.
Why are you apologizing? I aura farm on purpose.
I know, and that's why I'm better than you. I feel greater than no, man, I did not mean to do that on purpose, and I'm also joking. I entirely accept your level of aura farming. I just viewed them, I think, a little bit more fragile in the bullpen than some other teams right now.
If I have a good three, Brash, Munoz, Bizardo, let's go to work.
Yeah, I just don't think Bizzardo like makes that up.
He's a seventh inning guy, right? We're not relying on him in the eighth. We're not relying on him in the ninth. And a lot of these starters are going six anyway.
Yeah,
Just
but
give me the blank inning.
there are a couple of teams that have a bunch of ninth inning guys that are throwing in the seventh, and Bizzardo is a seventh inning guy throwing in the seventh.
Yankees have plenty of ninth inning guys thrown in the seventh, and none of them perform.
Yeah, that's why I'm not picking the Yankees next.
Okay.
I am going to go to the Boston Red Sox next. I like them over my
Interesting.
next pick. I go with the Boston Red Sox because they have one of the best starting pitchers in Major League Baseball in Garrett Crochet.
Yep.
That is not hot and cold right now, but on the year in the macro, he's throwing to the peak of his powers. And then I look at the other pieces in that playoff rotation. You assume Bayo starts game 2, okay? He's been awesome. 25 starts at a 3-1. You go Giolito game 3, and Giolito, whether you like it or you don't, he's been really good. 23 starts at a 3.4 ERA. And then I look at start 4 if they need one, depending on how the schedule lines up, as this choose your fighter of Tolle and Connolly early. Early looked so good. Tolle looked so good in his debut. It feels like you can't really go wrong at that point. You just go to the hotter hand. And then you go to the bullpen because Early will be a swingman if he doesn't get that 4th spot. Tolle will be a swingman if he doesn't get that 4th spot. And I look at Aroldis Chapman, who is having an unbelievable season. I'm sorry to see that he allowed a couple of runs the other day. But you got Whitlock, who's thrown out of his mind right now. Slayton's back. I know the numbers aren't awesome, but Justin Slayton is a dog. Wilson is ageless. Matz is a ground ball machine. I feel good about the back of that bullpen to complement the rotation of what they're showing right now.
So I had the Red Sox ranked high too. So I'm not coming at you as, oh, that's a terrible pick. What I am going to come at you as is how is the Red Sox pitching staff better than the Mariners? Game one,
I think Crochet is a better one than Wu is.
yes, I agree with you.
I
But
think
again,
Bayo,
Wu
yeah,
is amazing. So the difference is not that big. But I agree with you. I would take Crochet.
yeah. I think Chapman is better than Munoz right now, even though you're splitting hairs.
Splitting hairs.
And I think the complementary pieces in the rotation are throwing better right now than the complementary pieces in the Mariners rotation.
Game two, Gilbert versus Bayo. Who are you taking?
I understand what you're saying, and it's probably like slight edge to Gilbert, but Bayo has a 3.2 ERA.
Game two, who are you taking?
Maybe a slight edge to Gilbert, but I think
You think it's
slight
like
edge to Crochet in game 1, and then throw me game 3.
Giolito versus Kirby?
Yeah, Giolito right now.
I'll go Kirby. Maybe
Kirby
that's
can
just a
get
difference of
killed.
opinion. Castillo versus a duo of rookies.
That is for me right now a toss up with how they're throwing.
In the playoffs, though, Castillo, he's had a pretty damn good year this year. He
Yeah, I
hasn't been
mean we'll
bad by
see,
any
but I
stretch.
also think they can mix and match in the bullpen a little bit better than Seattle.
I also like Brash as the second best bullpen arm to anyone the Red Sox have. I know that they've had like Wilson and
Yeah, I just think
Weissert and
bullpen depth is much better.
yeah, maybe. I just think Gilbert Bayo. And I'm like, I know who I'm taking definitely. And then
Yep.
in game 3, Kirby hasn't pitched all that well this year. But Giolito, I'm taking Kirby. I don't care. I don't
Okay.
even.
Yeah. Right now, I think it's Giolito. I'm taking the hot hand. You're taking the tried and true guys that you are taking on paper, certainly, but one of them is throwing better than the other right now.
Yeah, because Kirby has struggled lately. I can see where you're coming from. Who's your next pick? Oh no,
But my,
it'd be back around to me because we'll keep alternating.
no, no, no. It's back around to me. The
No, I
Red
know
Sox were my
that's
first pick at 2 consecutive.
no, I know that's what Arm and I did. We did 1, 2, 3. You get 4, I get 5, 6, 7, 8. We could do. You could take 2. I don't care.
Why? What does that mean?
You brought
That's
that
not
up.
serpentine.
It's like, but it's almost it's
No, it's a
etiquette in
round. It's like
podcasting because we're
it's a round.
alternating.
I go 1, you go 2, 3, I go 4, 5, you go 6.
It
I'm careful.
de-incentivizes taking then 2 in a row every single time we go down. Instead, it would just be alternating. You could take 2 now and then we can alternate if that
Okay,
makes you
yeah,
feel
let's
better.
do that.
Sure.
Let's
Go
do
ahead.
that. I got to make up for it. You got 2
Yes,
and
you do.
3.
Yeah,
Okay.
you need help here.
Yeah, and you know what? You may consider this a reach.
Okay.
Give me the Super Pen of San Diego.
I don't think it's a reach at all. I had them at number 4.
Okay, good. So I took San Diego here, and the reason I say that, Michael King is back.
Yes, he
Very
is.
excited for that. King back and pitching in really any capacity this year, I feel really good about. Pavetta has been flat out awesome this year. And then Cease and Darvish, the stuff and the pedigree is there. For Cease, the stuff, for Darvish, the pedigree. I'll bet on that, but you can be so darn careful and have such a short leash with both of them. And then you turn it over to a pen of Suarez, Mason Miller, Morajon, Estrada, David Morgan, who's pumping 100, in case you haven't noticed. Ron Marinaccio, who's shoving right now in the Padre pen. And then you got other guys that factor in as well. So for me, man, I don't know. Like, that's where I stand.
I love San Diego. I had them at number 4. I think the bullpen is the best in baseball still. And it's such a shame to lose a pitcher like Jason Adam.
Yeah.
Right. But if one bullpen is able to withstand that, it'd be the San Diego Padres. You listed all the names. I really have no notes. I'm excited to see what Michael King looks like over the last few weeks going into the playoffs because he's a huge X factor. Because if he's not normal Michael King or even 80% of what Michael King was, then the starting pitching for San Diego gets pretty weak, right? Because Cease, you just never know. And the thing is with Cease is he's going to go up against the Dodgers in the postseason. And Cease's numbers against the Dodgers throughout his career have been horrific.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side, Darvish's numbers this regular season, not great. Against the Dodgers, he's their daddy. So I also think about that series to series. Like Padres are going up against the Dodgers. You'd say Cease is the better pitcher, but I'd rather have Darvish. That's how these matchups get really, really fun and interesting. But all in all, you have Pavetta there too. As long as King is solid, Padres have one of the better pitching staffs. Again, I would take both of these over the Red Sox.
Yeah.
I still like the Red Sox. I had them at number 6, but at number 5, I'm going to take a page out of your notebook. Who's the best pitching staff in baseball this year? You make the argument, and the numbers would back you up, at least by ERA. Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
Number 1 staff ERA while ranking first in FWAR. I'm surprised by that too, for everybody listening. But I understand why. Jacob deGrom is the man still. Merrill Kelly, I can't say enough good things about Merrill Kelly. Just it feels like every single day he's shoving. I know against the Brewers he had a little bit of a tough game, but the Rangers still swept. Rice still kept them in the ball game. And Jack Leiter, I continue to bang the drum for this guy. Just gets better and better and better, locating multiple pitches now. Right? He's not just heater and hopefully we're throwing that breaker in the strike zone. Everything is working for him. And he's really showing that potential that we all thought he could be. And then Jacob Latz. What's there to say when he keeps throwing 5-inning shutout? He's not the best pitcher in the world, but in terms of production, he's got a 2.91 ERA. The underlying looks pretty good. He's striking out enough batters to matter. He's not walking batters. His hits per nine is incredibly low. I wonder what his opponent batting average is. It's got to be scary low. And then the bullpen,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of amazing names back there, but it's deep. It's like everyone is super solid. They have 7 arms with an ERA under 3.5. Since the break, they still are number 1 in starter ERA, and yeah, they're 14th in bullpen ERA. Again, it's not the best bullpen in the world, right?
Yeah.
With guys like Sean Armstrong, you got multiple Webbs back there, you got Hobie Milner, you got Robert Garcia, you got Chris Martin. You have names where it's like, oh, they're not Munoz, they're not Chapman, but think of it, Red Sox fans, they have a bunch of Whitlocks. They have a bunch of Justin Wilsons. Solid arms. And they have 7 of them. So it sounds crazy, but give me the Rangers.
It doesn't sound crazy. I was hesitant to pick him after the Eovaldi drop. Like
Me
them not
too.
having Eovaldi, I was like, oh, they're smoked. And somehow they've just continued to tread water in the same exact spot.
100%. It's been really, really impressive. That's what's keeping them in, right? Go look at the Brewers series. It's all a bunch of low scoring wins. And even an offense like that in Milwaukee, they're having trouble with Texas. Like, this pitching is for real. Shout out Chris Young, by the way,
Yeah.
right? The GM of the Rangers. What a job building this bullpen, building the starting rotation. Eovaldi goes down and you don't skip a beat,
Yeah.
right? How many teams did we say go get Merrill Kelly? Who was the team to do it? The Rangers. And it's
Mhm.
being paid off. One of the best moves of the deadline.
Yeah. And it's funny, like it's not necessarily bad news bears as it pertains to the Ranger pen, but it feels like the closest thing we've got in baseball right now. I mean, Maton, like he was being passed around. Chris Martin's
Yeah.
39 years old, to your point. Like they have so many pieces that feels like, they were almost castaways with their previous spot.
Yeah.
And now they're just finding it
Yeah.
in the Ranger pen. So, maybe great minds think alike, and Chris Martin is or Chris Young is putting together, a rotation and a bullpen that just fit a particular vibe, and there's some sort of unity there, and it seems like it's worked all season long. And who's to say it won't work in October?
It's hard to explain,
It is hard to explain.
but it's happening. And I'll
It
take
is
them.
gritty. It might be the grittiest pitching staff in Major League Baseball.
I agree. I lean towards grit.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, not as much.
I don't. I lean towards stuff plus models. I'm going to go here with the Philadelphia Phillies.
The Phillies are pretty low for me.
I understand why. Your questions are the back of that rotation, are they?
And the bullpen.
Okay. So let me make my case. I know there's no Alvarado in that bullpen for October, but they have a guy who has been as good as anybody in baseball, not named Skeens, and Christopher Sanchez at the front of that rotation. Sanchez has been unbelievable.
Incredible.
Ranger Suarez, you trust at any point, and I know we were
100%.
just talking about that earlier this week.
Love Ranger.
Sanchez and Ranger at the front is amazing. Luzardo, at the end of the day, in a postseason game, is going to be throwing 98 with a sweeper that's straight out of hell. So I feel okay with that game 3. In game 4, I understand that Rob Thompson is placing a bet on Aaron Nola. That's fine. Totally fine. I know it might not work, but who am I? I'm pulling a page out of your Rangers textbook or your Mariners textbook. Who am I to bet against Aaron Nola in the postseason when he has been Aaron Nola in the postseason so far in his career?
Yeah. I'd bet on George Kirby over Aaron Nola.
I probably would too at this point, but Aaron Nola in the postseason has an ERA over 4, actually. But in 23, it was 10 and a third, a 4-run ball, 5 innings of 4-run ball in the DS last year. I don't know. It's just Nola, like
He's going to get crushed.
he's getting killed right now, and I don't feel awesome about it. But hey,
I
who's
don't.
to say Bueller doesn't have 4 awesome starts or 3 awesome starts, and then he's in the rotation.
That's someone I don't want to doubt. Luzardo,
I understand why you would doubt Luzardo.
I want to love it. I want to so bad. 98 with a slider. You're right. He's going to come out throwing fuzz.
And I'm not saying it's awesome by any stretch. Let me tell you that. I'm not saying the 3 and 4 are awesome. I'm saying the 1 and 2 are awesome.
Here's
But
why
3,
it drops. Here's why it
yes.
drops for me. The 1 and 2 are absolutely awesome. I love both of those. Sanchez and Ranger Suarez. No
Yeah.
doubt about it. I love Yohan Duran. Him in the ninth, I feel really, really good about it. Do I feel good about everybody else?
So
15th in bullpen ERA since the break, and they won't have Alvarado. I just look and it's like, I like Matt Strom. I like Orion Kirkering. David Robertson is like 40 and still
and
pitching
he's
well.
great.
Yeah, I
Here's my
just,
thing, man. I look at 1 and 2 and I say, okay, Sanchez and Suarez, I love it. Duran, love it. Strom, love it. Robertson, yeah, he's been great. Kirkering, love it.
I
That's
don't know.
enough to get you through a postseason series. Like, it's not like you're playing 4 games in a row. You get an off day after 2 game stretches. We see relievers throw in every game in the postseason. And I trust my big four in that bullpen every game in the postseason.
It's so funny how, and I just felt privy to this too. It's like a guy we haven't seen in the postseason yet, but is having a good regular season. You feel good about him going into the postseason because what you're watching right now.
Yeah.
The Phillies, I've seen this bullpen fold in the postseason. So now I'm hesitant, even though they're putting up good regular seasons. But is it their fault they've been in the postseason when other arms haven't, and I like those other arms better just because I haven't seen it yet? I don't think that's fair by me.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us sometimes fall into that bucket where it's like because someone struggled in the postseason, what, they can't bounce back?
Yeah.
So
What's better going into this postseason? No sample or a slightly negative sample?
probably slightly a negative sample. And it's like Kirkering, right? Strom, Tanner Banks. Maybe Tanner Banks isn't a great example, but some of these guys I've just seen not be their best sometimes in the postseason, which scares me a little bit. So it's almost like because they're there so often, I'm docking them, which isn't fair. So maybe I'm a little bit too low on the Phillies, but I do definitely have some other teams that I would take over them.
Okay.
And now we'll start alternating. So we'll go one by one by one.
Yes, and I want to get to yours in a moment, but before that, I would love to take a quick break.
I like how you took the ad break. Aram yesterday just took it because he couldn't decide. He got scared.
Really? Okay.
Yes. But I could tell you just took it because it's about time to do the ad break.
Yeah, I saw that we were at 27:15 and I was like, "You know what? Let's do it before we get to 30."
But with Aram, scared. Like he was already panicking. You
I'm
feel
not scared. I'm never scared. I'm scared sometimes. Go.
I think you're doing well. Not
Thanks, man.
as well as me, but better than Aram did yesterday.
So sweet.
Um, Give me the Reds. I just love this rotation so much. Now, they're not perfect, but Hunter Green is as close to perfect as any starting pitcher in the playoffs.
Yep.
This guy is mowing down hitters. And when you put up those type of numbers in the Little League park that the Reds play in at Great American, I mean, I'll take him against just about anybody. And Lodolo. I mean, finally, how many years have we been super, super high on Lodolo? First round pick, seventh overall, out of TCU, unbelievable arm, comes up, flashes brilliance, but is just perpetually injured. And then when he comes back, he's inconsistent, but he's been healthy this year. He's pitching to a low threes again in that ballpark. Lodolo is, I think, one of the most underrated pitchers that could potentially be in the playoffs. Now, are the Reds going to make it? I don't know. But for this exercise, we're looking at all these teams that are within striking distance. And Lodolo, I'll take him at the number 2 against just about anybody. Like, I have a question for you. Lodolo or Brian Bayo?
Le- ah, right now, I think Bayo.
I think I'm going Lodolo.
I understand why you'd say that, but right now I go Bayo.
And I understand why you'd go Bayo. But I think it's a conversation. And
Yeah.
for me personally, I would go Lodolo. Abbott
Okay.
is interesting. Abbott is interesting. He's put together an unbelievable year. He's coming off an unbelievable start. But if you look at his career, he's slowed down towards the final month or two every single time. It makes sense, right? He's a young pitcher getting up there in innings. He's not quite as precise as he was earlier on in the season. Might leave one too many hangers, and that's where the runs come. And I have no idea, knowing that, what he's going to look like in the playoffs. I don't know. But maybe, and here's what I'm hanging my hat on, a little bit extra adrenaline keeps him precise and then he can continue to do what he's done in the regular season, which is put up an ERA below 3. And that's my 3 starter. And then Brady Singer, is there a hotter pitcher in baseball right now? 7 of his last 8 starts, he's given up 1 run or fewer, ground ball artist, and that's my 4. Now, middle of the road bullpen. Doesn't scare anybody.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys who I like. There's nobody that I love. It's not the Rangers bullpen where it's like 7 guys I like, but the Reds have like 4 that I like. But here's the weapon. Chase Burns in a 2-inning type role.
Mm-hmm.
What does he look like in that bullpen? In my opinion, I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be similar to the weapon that Mizorowski can be. Now, I like Mizorowski more, again, but if I'm comparing, that would be the closest comparison of just a human missile coming in, throwing 100 miles an hour, maybe more, in short bursts with that unbelievable breaking ball. Then he could really just go to 2 pitches and dominate through 2 innings. I feel like he's going to put up a 2-inning, 4 strikeout performance if the Reds make the playoffs. So that makes me feel a lot better about the bullpen. I still don't love it, but I really like the rotation. I like the bullpen, but it has more upside with Burns. So I think the Reds are one of the best rotations we got in this draft.
Okay, so I totally understand why you went Cincinnati there, and frankly, I don't fault you one bit because after this, I feel like everything drops off pretty exponentially.
It's funny though. I mean, maybe I'm just too, and Phillies fans ate me for lunch yesterday. Am I just low on the Phillies?
I think you
Phillies
might be
fans,
just a little bit.
I think I'm a Red October guy, but maybe I'm not. No, I am. I'll always be a Red October.
I think you're fired up about the Philly offense, but the Philly staff
No, I
scares you a
was
little.
low on the Phillies
Were
offense.
you really?
That's why I'm like, wait a minute. What I'm valuing right now is anti-Phillies. I don't
Hmm.
mean it. I don't mean to be mean, Phillies fans. You know what this means? They're going to win the World Series.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. And
In a
while they're
year
sweeping
where
the Mets, they're playing so well, and I'm here to be like, no, you're 10th on both drafts.
honestly, in a year where nothing makes sense, it's either just going to be the Dodgers walking everybody, or it's going to be the Phillies that like actually get over the hump this time.
Yeah, it might be. I still
My
think
next
there
pick.
are. I still
Yeah,
think there are 2 good staffs before it drops off.
you think there are 2. Okay, so I'm a little torn between 2 in the American League. Do you have an NL?
I have an NL and an AL.
Okay. I think at this point I'm gonna lean on star power, and I'm gonna go with the New York Yankees.
The bullpen is so ass.
Was that your AL team or no?
Nope. The
Okay.
Yankees I have ranked 11th.
So I'm willing to trust Weaver, who looked really good in the
100%.
postseason last year.
And Bednar.
I'm willing to trust Bednar. I'm willing to trust Fernando Cruz at his 14 and a half strikeouts per nine.
Yes. Yes.
Doval and Devin are toss ups for me, but they're Doval and Devin. At
Yep.
the
They
end of
are
the
Duvall and
day,
Devin.
I
I
know
get it.
Devin has a 5.5 ERA this year. I know he's been terrible in high leverage, but if you put him in the 7th inning or the 6th inning, it's okay. Like it might be fine. So we'll see. And then I look at the rotation, man, and I see Rodon, Freed, and Schlittler as the clear cut 1, 2, 3, and then Heel probably as the 4. And I feel good about that compared to any other rotation that's still on the board.
I also feel pretty decent about Will Warren. I mean, it's the 5. Like, we'll see if he even makes postseason starts. I don't know. But I am saying that, like, every day I feel pretty good, which is why since the break, they're 5th in starter ERA.
Yeah.
They're 27th in bullpen ERA.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
God.
that scares me a little bit. I'm betting on names in the bullpen and I'm betting on run of form in the rotation.
Now, did this past series against the Tigers make me drop them in my rankings
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I'm a prisoner of the moment Yankee fan who can't watch them objectively? Some people are saying that. Now, smarter people are saying this is a perfect ranking. So,
Hmm.
which side are you on? Are you the smarter or less so? I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not calling anybody out. I feel good about the Yankees' rotation. The bullpen, I'm terrified.
And I
Terrified.
get it.
Terrified. Like,
I get it.
but so I'm gonna go next of a rotation I like more. Cubs. Now, I think the reason they probably dropped off you is because their bullpen is terrifying.
Yeah.
You lose Daniel Palencia, it's a similar bucket. So how does it separate for me? Shota, Matthew Boyd, Cade Horton, and then you got some sort of Tyone Ray combo in the fourth game. I personally go with Jameson Tyone, who's kind of just been the definition of solid. He's going to pitch to a 4 ERA. Pretty good. He'll keep this offense in the game, which is still very good. They're second in starter ERA since the break. Matthew Boyd is just putting up an incredible season. He's got an ERA below 3. Shota's found it. Horton doesn't allow runs ever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel better about those three than I do the Yankees. And for how much we trash this Cubs bullpen, they're 21st in bullpen ERA since the break compared to the Yankees at 27th. Now, there are names in the Yankees bullpen you feel much better about. I picked the Mariners for a similar reason. But I also am pessimistic about the Yankees, and I'm watching them just getting blown to pieces, while the Cubs, it's not the sexy names, but it's not quite as bad as the Yankees.
Yeah.
And I like the rotation more. And I still have another AL team above the Yankees. I hope you don't take them.
Do you? Okay.
I do.
I've got Cleveland here.
You stole them.
Okay. Sorry about that. Cleveland, I feel like they could, if they do sneak in, mix and match their way to Tiger success like we saw in the regular season last year at the end of it and in the postseason.
I don't mind the rotation at all.
So after Gavin, where do people slot in?
Bybee, I still trust. I know he's having a tough year.
Yeah.
I still trust Bybee. Joey Cantillo has been.
Cantillo's been gross. He makes a postseason start for me.
Parker
There's
Messick?
really no pedigree there with
Yeah.
Cantillo,
No,
but
I
he's
know.
been nasty.
But again, that's what we're talking about with some of these rookies.
Yep.
Like, there's not a lot of pedigree from them either. And Parker Messick has been one of the best rookie starters during his little cup of coffee so far of any of them. He's pitched to an ERA below 2.
I know.
And that's your 4?
He's a little scary because he doesn't strike enough dudes out. I will say that. Like the stuff is not loud enough. I
Yeah.
don't think for postseason baseball, but Ciccone just went, what, 7 no hit?
Yeah. You got him too. And the bullpen has been awesome. The Guardians, since the break, 5th best bullpen ERA, 13th best starter ERA too.
They found another demon in case you haven't watched much of Eric Sabrowski. Sabrowski threw for them a little bit at the end of last year, and he factored into some of their bullpen dominance, but Sabrowski is disgusting. That curveball is unbelievable.
He's really good. Cade Smith is still a demon.
Cade is like the most steady reliever in baseball at this point.
He's so good. So yeah, I like the Guardians pick. It's funny. I had the Guardians above the Phillies.
Okay. Wow. And I guess I reached for the Phillies, but damn, I go with Cleveland.
Am I just wrong?
I think you could be a little wrong, to be honest.
What's with me right now? I don't know. I'm sticking to it though. Phillies
Okay.
at 10. So next up, you took the Guardians, Phillies, Yankees are gone. All right, so I'm just going to go with 12. The Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
Don't love it. But I do feel good about a rotation. Bieber, Gosman, Scherzer, Barrios. I'll take Bieber. Gosman has been pitching out of his mind lately. Scherzer, they're going to, I don't know if they're skipping one of his starts, but they're giving him a little bit more of a break here, which I think is going to bode well for the postseason. And Scherzer with adrenaline, kind of his last ride. I'll back that. And then Barrios is having a tough second half. Okay, he's your 4, right?
Yeah.
Problem is the bullpen has stunk since the break. 25th in bullpen ERA. Now, there are members in the Blue Jays bullpen who have not been pitching as well as they did in the front half, but really I'm looking at Jeff Hoffman. And the reason I'm comfortable taking the Blue Jays here is like, sorry, I still believe in him? Is that crazy? It's still Jeff Hoffman. The strikeouts are still there. It's just he's walking everyone. So if he can make a little mechanical tweak, or maybe it's mental, I don't know, and just be back in the zone, the stuff is too good not to succeed. And then if he's back to pitching even to a low 3s, 3.5 ERA, which is not crazy. I've seen him put together way better stretches than that. This Blue Jays bullpen gets a lot better because in the 9th, you don't have to worry about losing. You got Jeff Hoffman. He can lock it down. So that's why I'm not in love with the Blue Jays, because I still have questions. I don't love the drop-off into Scherzer, even though I still would back him.
Yeah.
We'll see quite what Bieber looks like. Hasn't been great over his last two starts. I'll take the Blue Jays, though. I feel okay about it.
So you rely on your best guys to throw their best stuff in the postseason. That's like what I kind of adhere to. Best guys throw best shit. Lauer, I like as a Swiss Army knife.
Me
He
too.
can just kind of fill in wherever needed. If a starter goes two and a third, you can bridge Lauer until you get to leverage guys. Brendan Little, it's a matter of throwing strikes. He could come in and curveball his way through a 1-2-3 inning.
Yes, he could.
Louis Varland throws fuzz. Sir Anthony throws fuzz.
Problem is,
These guys
Varland.
could 99 their way through.
I know Varland's been so bad for the Jays, at least lately.
I know, but he was really good with Minnesota, and that's why we
Really
saw
good.
a top 100 prospect move for Louis Varland.
Really good. That's why it's like they're there. Can they perform better down the stretch? I'm hoping.
Yeah,
And it's
and
not
I
like I
feel like
reached
it's just
for
a
it.
matter of hunkering down and throwing your best stuff.
Were they next for you?
Toronto was next for me. Yeah,
Okay.
so I like that pick for you.
Okay.
Now it starts to get a little hairy, and honestly, I don't think I'm reaching here when I say Houston because I'm betting on the best 1-2 punch still on the board and one of the better 1-2 punches in baseball. Hunter Brown, Framber Valdez, game one, game two. I don't care who starts. They're both awesome. And I trust Hunter Brown and Framber Valdez. Christian Javier. I know he's coming off Tommy John surgery. I know the ERA is north of 4 through a handful of starts. He started a no hitter in the postseason.
I
He
trust
started a
him.
no hitter in the freaking. It was World Series, right? Was it World
Yeah, against
Series or was it ALCS?
against the Phillies,
Yes,
in
it
the World
was no hitter in
Series.
the World Series.
And he's he gives me nightmares.
Yeah, I
He
understand because he's been a
he's
Yankee killer
he,
before.
the Yankees did hit him in his last start. Watch out, Javier. No,
There
I'm
we go.
just kidding. I don't even want to put that into the ether. I didn't mean it, Javier. I didn't mean it. Yeah, the thing is with the Astros that their bullpen.
I know, and no hater really sucks,
We got
but
bad news
Abreu
about
has
Hader.
been closer capable.
We got bad news about Hader too. I don't even know if he's going to be ready for the postseason. He hit another snag. He hasn't even started throwing yet.
Yeah,
So if he hasn't started throwing yet, that hurts the bullpen a lot because he was putting up an awesome season. And since Hader went out on August 8th, since August 9th, it's a bottom 10 bullpen.
yeah,
I still love Abreu. And they've
yeah.
had a lot of solid performances to get them to this point. But now you're starting to see those subside. And without Hader to come in and save them, but I agree with you. I feel really good about those three. But here's the thing: 4 is Jason Alexander, who just shut down the Blue Jays. Like I don't know.
I know. It could also be if you trust McCullers to just spin a bunch of curveballs for 2 innings and then you bullpen it. But like, how often do you need a game four starter? Like why
Not
can't
often.
Fromber go 1-4-7?
I'd probably get Brown
Yeah,
147.
Brown 4-7, Brown 1-4-7. Like, okay,
Actually, Carrot, who would you give 147? Would you still just give it to Fromber because Brown has
yeah.
been unbelievable?
Brown has been ridiculous for sake of track record. Honestly, I feel like it could change depending on off days. I would set up like Brown to start game one, and then I would maybe set up Fromber to start game one the next go around, depending on who pitches better in the ALDS.
Yeah, I don't hate
Like
that.
just ride the hotter hand, and it's like, okay, you start game one, you start game two.
I had Astros next too, so I like the pick.
The other thing that I want to shout out is the bullpen depth is really not great. Abreu can close, but Brian King has been good this year. Okert has been good this year. And a name that I'm not ready to give up on, man. Like it feels like the Angels for you, but a player for me. I know he was terrible last year, but Craig Kimbrell has punched out 10 across 7 innings of work so far this year. I'm not saying it's going to be amazing. I'm just saying, like, it's still Craig Kimbrell. And what if he turns back the clock a little bit?
We've seen what happened to Chapman. Who knows with these Hall of Famers?
I know.
Maybe they could catch lightning in a bottle. I don't hate the shout. I don't hate it at all because the stuff has looked good. And if the
Hmm.
stuff is good and he's in the zone, still Craig Kimbrell.
Yep.
My next pick, the last 4 teams for me are tough, but there's one that kind of rises to the top of the last 4, and that's the Tigers.
Yeah.
I get Scooble. Best pitcher alive. Maybe you could say Skeens, but in this format, it's Scooble. So game one, I feel good against just about anybody. The problem is game 2 and 3, I feel not good. And I think they might have, of at least the division leaders, the weakest 2-3. Just because Flaherty and Mize, like, they still have talent. It's still Jack Flaherty. It's still Casey Mize. Like, these are good pitchers. But the second halves, I've just been really disappointed. Now, Mize threw okay in his last outing. Flaherty, not so much. Since the break, they're 17th in starter ERA. And there's a reason I didn't really list Charlie Morton. Maybe Troy Melton is able to throw some valuable innings for them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Kyle Finnegan going down really hurts this bullpen. But they are 11th in bullpen ERA since the break. There's still remnants of chaos still there. So I don't feel good about the rotation at all outside of Scooble, but I feel pretty good about the bullpen, and I have Scooble. And when we're getting to this part of the draft, I feel like it's the Tigers.
Yes, we are getting to this part of the draft. And that is why I'm going to bet on a little bit of chaos in the National League right here.
Okay.
There's a world where the 1, 2, 3 in the postseason for Carlos Mendoza is McLean, Tong, Sproat. I don't think that's actually going to happen, but all three of those guys can be on the postseason roster. McLean seems like your game one starter right now, and that is electric. Whoever you decide to move to the pen, Aram made the point on the last episode. What if Mania just crossfires and ticks up to like 93 for 2 innings and it works? Clay Holmes, we know this guy has been an all-star closer before. What if Clay Holmes pivots to the pen and is really good? And then, oh, by the way, you got Tyler Rogers, you got Edwin Diaz. Brooks Raley's been throwing the ball well. Gregory Soto still throws 100 miles an hour. There's enough here to make it intriguing to stay away from the bottom three in this draft.
So here's how you know a pitcher isn't performing well. When Jack doesn't say they're performing well, he goes with their stuff.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
this
correct.
guy's throwing 100. How's he doing?
Ryan Helsley, he's throwing 100.
Throwing 100. That I had the Mets ranked dead last.
Okay, so I get why you did that, but I just disagree with you.
Okay, that's funny. Um, Here's the thing. 3 rookies. Rookies historically have not performed well in the playoffs, no matter how good they do in the regular season. And I'm not even sure Brandon Sproat is even ready. Tong looked great in his first start, not so much in his second. That's what we have to go off of. McLean, I like. He's a rookie. Going game 1, him versus Christopher Sanchez, him versus like Shota, him versus anyone's one. I'm taking all of them. Every single one in the postseason, I'm taking over whoever the Mets are going to go with at their number 1 starter. And here's the thing. When none of your starters can go very long, the bullpen, it weighs on them. It weighs on them, it weighs on them, it weighs on them. That's why in the second half, the Mets bullpen ranks 23rd in ERA. They rank 23rd in starter ERA too.
Think about who's been making those starts. I mean, Senga was making those starts. And who's to say Senga can't ghost fork his way through 2 innings?
Yes, Sega, 96. Sometimes.
Uh, I understand what you're saying, but again, the postseason is a different structure than the regular season.
And it's a different structure for these rookies.
And they've been going back to the well with like, okay, time for Mania again, time for Holmes again.
Are you enjoying that?
No, I'm hating it right now, but the postseason's a little different.
It's true. We could just wish and pray.
I'm in. Hey, we are at the wish and pray point of the program.
All right, let's wish and pray on the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Dude, no, they were dead last for me.
The Mets were last. I have the Giants at 16. It's funny because they're actually pitching pretty well since the break, which is why they got the tiebreaker for me. Not the sexiest names. Gallen, been pitching a lot better since the break. You know that. I don't even have to talk about the fact that he throws 94 because his numbers are actually good.
Yeah.
Ryan Nelson, 96. Just kidding. I don't have to talk about velocity because he's been really good since the break. So I have those 2. I'm taking those over anybody the Mets are going to give me. And then 3, Eduardo Rodriguez was a good pitcher like 5 years ago. Brandon Pfaadt's stuff plus is not bad. That's what we got. And then in the bullpen, 19th is not bottom 10.
Have you done the read the names of the guys in the Diamondbacks bullpen yet?
Yeah, I've seen them too. They're not that great.
I mean, listen, no Martinez, no Ginkel, no Puck. That bullpen is decimated. Saul Frank, parlay is over. He is back in the fold. Saul Frank was dealing with a gambling suspension there.
Almost a World Series champion, Andrew Saalfrank.
Is Saul Frank eligible for postseason play if he was on the suspended list? Maybe not.
It's a great question.
That's a great question. Somebody answer in the YouTube comments or via our Discord. If Saul Frank is ineligible for postseason play and you take Saul Frank out of the fold, you're relying on Jake Woodford, Taylor Rashi, Kyle Backus, Ryan Thompson is 4-3, Jalen Beeks, Brandon Garcia, John Curtis, Anthony DeSclafani to get you humongous outs in the
You're right.
postseason.
All of them have not been very good, and they're still better than the Mets since the break.
Yeah, but the Mets have sex appeal,
Names.
name intrigue. They've got
Names.
stuff. Helsley throws 100.
Sorry,
The
I like
last pick.
production. Sorry, you've been talking about Bayo's ERA forever. You like production too?
Yeah, I do like production, but it doesn't fit my agenda here.
Okay.
Last pick of the draft is San Francisco, and you look at the rotation, and you're okay with it. The front two,
Logan
Webb and
Webb.
Ray. But after that, Verlander gets game three. Okay, Verlander has been, he's been okay as of late. And then game four, I don't think you need to do that. I think you'll just run Logan Webb into the ground there. No Doval in this pen really hurts. Brian Walker has been better as of late. They have other guys that have been good. Matt Gage has been good. Lucchesi, out of nowhere, been good. Budo's been okay for them as well.
Budo's been good for them. Sorry,
Yeah.
Mets fans. And sorry, Mets fans, that the Giants bullpen is ninth in ERA since the break. That's why I ranked them higher. Because I'm
There's
like,
just,
Webb.
yeah.
Let's go through game one starters. Webb versus McLean. Who you taking?
Oh, Webb.
Ray versus Peterson.
Toss up.
I think I might take Ray, and then the Giants bullpen has been better.
Toss up.
That's why the Mets fell to last.
Yeah. Okay. That's our draft. You ready for a weekend preview?
Well, let's. Do you have the teams written down?
I do.
Go over them.
Okay. So I took the Dodgers 1. You took the Brewers 2 and the Mariners 3. I took the Red Sox 4 and the Padres 5. You took the Rangers. I took the Phillies. You took the Reds. I took the Yankees. You took the Cubs. I took the Guardians. You took the Blue Jays. I took the Astros. You took the Tigers. I took the Mets. You took the Diamondbacks. I took the Giants.
Mets last.
Giants last. Diamondbacks last, actually, but Giants last. Okay, weekend preview time. I'm just going to throw you some pitching matchups, and you tell me who the winner is.
Let's do it.
I'm actually going to pivot on that. I want line predictions for both of these guys.
Okay.
At 7:10 p.m. in South Florida, Tarek Skubal against Sandy Alcantara in Tigers Marlins.
Ooh. I think Sandy goes QS, quality start. 6 innings, 3 runs, 6 Ks.
Okay.
I think Scooble goes 8 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned, 7 punchouts.
Okay. Shane Baz, Matt Boyd, 120 on a Friday, baby, at Wrigley Field. Boyd
Wrigley.
at home against Baz.
I'm going to take Boyd. Give me the Cubs.
Okay. Let's go to Luis Heel, Lucas Giolito at Fenway at 7:10 tonight.
Red Sox have kind of owned us. This is where we bounce back. Give me the Yanks.
Okay. This one fires me up. 7:10 tonight. Jonah Tong in New York against Jacob deGrom, making his return to Metland.
Rangers. That it's a DeGrom like. Remember me?
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Give me Hurston Waldrop's line against the Astros in Atlanta, 7:15 on Friday.
5 innings, 2 runs, 5 Ks. Pedestrian line for him.
Okay. Give me the total number of ground balls induced by Quinn Priester and Andre Palante in Cardinals, Brewers, in Milwaukee.
Cardinals make a lot of contact, which means there's going to be a lot of ground balls. Give me 12.
12 total or just from Priester?
Oh, just from Priester.
Palante's a
Palante.
ground ball machine too.
Yeah, but the Brewers are probably going to lift it in the air and like be like, "Oh, nice ground
Okay.
balls." Nope,
But
in the
you
air.
got 12 ground balls from Quinn Priester. He's 12
12.
and 2. Does he improve to 13 and 2?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Yoshinobu Yamamoto in San Francisco against Justin Verlander. Dodgers
Mm.
Giants.
Yamamoto's coming off his career high in innings. I actually think that's a sneaky Giants win there. Give me Verlander and the Giants.
Okay. Rays Cubs on Saturday at Wrigley. Colin Ray and his 4-2 against Drew Rasmussen and his 2-6.
I like the Rays to bounce back there. Give me the Rays.
Okay. Orioles Blue Jays in Toronto. Chris Bassett against Trevor Rogers in Toronto.
Can't go against the Rogers train. Give me the Orioles. And
Okay.
4 straight wins by walk-off. Momentum's good over there in Baltimore.
That's a 3 o'clock start in Toronto, 4 o'clock in Washington. How many pitches thrown? 97 plus between Cade Cavalli and Bubba Chandler.
Can I just say all of them?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, all of them.
How about Fried and Bale, Red Sox Yankees at Fenway at 4 o'clock on Saturday?
Yankees, begrudgingly.
You
Yankees.
don't feel awesome about that.
I never feel good against the Red Sox.
Okay. Let's go Mets Rangers at 4 o'clock on Saturday. Brandon Sproat against Patrick Corbin.
Mm. I think the Rangers stay hot. I like Sproat. Corbin, like, I got to look at how his numbers are against the Mets. Obviously, he spent a ton of time in Washington. The Mets bats have seen him plenty, so I could be wrong there, but I would go with the Rangers.
Corbin's been really bad after the All-Star break. He was really good before it.
Yeah, but Rangers have
Diamondbacks,
been really good.
what?
But the Rangers have been really good.
Yeah. Diamondbacks Twins. I bet you didn't think you were going to get one of these, but it's Joe Ryan against Ryan Nelson at 7 o'clock on Saturday.
Snakes alive. Ryan, like, if he doesn't absolutely dominate, the Twins have no shot, and the Diamondbacks offense is still great.
I think I love that. For the induced vertical break crowd, Saturday at 7:10 in Minnesota, that's your ball game between
Yep.
Ryan Nelson and Joe Ryan.
You like risers? Go check it out.
8:40 on Saturday night. Padres, Rockies, but it's Darvish against Dolander.
Where?
San Diego, away from Coors for Dolander, who has been very good away from Coors.
Padres.
Okay. Hunter Green in Sacramento against Luis Severino. Reds A's.
Reds. You got Green on the mound. There's not a lot of teams and pitchers that could point me in a different direction.
Okay. Scrolling. Okay, how about 1:40 on Sunday? Rangers Mets in New York. Nolan McLean against Jacob Latz.
Rangers sweep.
All right. How about this is fun. 4:05 in San Francisco on Sunday. Logan Webb against Tyler Glasnow and Dodgers Giants.
Dodgers. Glasnow is pitching out of his mind right now. And the Dodgers have always done pretty well against Webb, if I remember correctly. I think that's where the Dodgers get one back.
Cool. And then last one, Sunday Night Baseball. The Yankees Red Sox at Fenway. Will Warren against Garrett Crochet.
Crochet is going to mollywop us. Red Sox.
Okay. So the Yankees win the series, but the Red Sox salvage.
Yes, and they win on Sunday Night Baseball.
Cool. Plug the merch.
So that'll do it, folks. Hopefully everybody enjoyed this episode of the Just Baseball Show. And if you did, again, the best way to support without spending a dime is to rate and review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, 5 stars, as well as liking, subscribing, and commenting on YouTube. Make sure to go get your Just Baseball merch. Of course, I'm rocking the hat. Go get yours in the episode description, as well as join the best baseball group chat in the world. I'm telling you, if you're waiting until the postseason, I understand for the last month, but in the postseason, Discord is going to be so much fun. Again, it's just $10 a month to join, less than a price of a sandwich. I can't wait. Again, you can find the link in the episode description. It's been super fun now, but for the postseason, I can imagine it's going to be one of our best months. So again, that link is in the episode description. For Jack McMullen, I'm Peter Apple. Have a great weekend. And with that, thank you, everybody.